Alright, Matt Timmons here with Timberwolf firewood processing equipment. I'd like to take the opportunity today to talk to you guys about our Pro MP firewood processor right behind us. So this machine, it's our smallest processor we make, but is a full-size processor. Has a 16-foot feed trough. You can do up to a 32-foot long piece of wood. Hydraulically folding live deck 7 feet long, so you can hold 2 face cords at a time. Really, for your money, this is the best firewood processor you can buy. Let's look at some of the details on the machine to explain why. So the heart of every machine is the engine, and this here is the Honda GX700 22 horsepower fuel injected engine. Now this engine, it drives a 22 gallon per minute 2-stage pump, which runs your saw and your splitting function, and it also drives a 2.7 gallon per minute pump that drives all your auxiliary functions, your live deck, your feed troughs, your saw bar, that kind of stuff. On the MPX, which is one size up, it has a GX800, and that's 25 horsepower, and that allows us to run another 18 gallon per minute pump, which goes right here on the other side, and that's a dedicated pump to run your saw motor. So with that machine, you can split and saw at the same time. With the MP, you're sawing and then splitting. So you got to run the saw, let it drop, and then split. Still plenty of production, and you know, better fuel economy with the 700 as well, and you save some money up front. Hydraulic tank on this machine is integrated into the frame, so you've got front to back hydraulic tank. That gives you a good surface to air ratio, so the fluid stays nice and cool. So with the MP, there's no cooler. With the MPX, you get a cooler right here, as well as with the XL. Let's talk about the MPXL. That's got a 38 horsepower fuel injected Kohler. That's really a fast, high production machine there for not too much more money. This machine here is equipped with a 4-inch cylinder with a regen valve. You can also get it for a little bit more money with a 5-inch cylinder. 4-inch cylinder, if you're doing firewood logs, kind of like we have here, that's about the perfect cylinder for that. You get a nice quick cycle time, still plenty of splitting force. If you're into some harder woods, you know, bigger diameters up to that 24 consistently, you might want to consider getting the 5-inch cylinder, but that does, you know, slow your cycle time down by a couple of seconds. So over the course of an 8-hour day, it really adds up. So as we're talking about the trough, 16 feet from the front roller to the back roller. So this is the back roller right here. We came out with this feature on our Pro HD, 3-4 years ago now. This feature here allows you to run those longer logs off the end, and it's fully supporting and pushing the log through. You've got your tension adjuster for your feed trough chain. That's some WR78, real thick chain right there. Really, I don't think I've ever seen that break. It's real strong. Trailer hitch here, 2 5/16 ball, also optional, is a no-cost option with a pintle hitch. Machine weighs about 6,000 pounds, plus or minus 300-400 depending on options. Means it's fully able to be towed with a half-ton pickup truck or a full-size SUV. With the long wheelbase and 10 to 12% tongue weight, again depending on options, goes down the highway like a dream. Tows real well, easy. Center of gravity is centered with the live deck coming over center, so it's a really nice mobile machine. Great for a rental option or mobile firewood processing. 4-corner jacks. You get jacks in 4 corners. That way, no matter the ground, you can always level it out and get a nice stable work platform. These are 7,000 pound jacks a piece, so they're plenty strong to lift the machine right up off the tires. Or you can do like we have here, where we have relatively stable ground and just float the tires a little bit. Live deck, you got 7 foot of live deck, driven centrally by a hydraulic motor, so the torque is evenly distributed across all 3 strands. And then you get a hydraulic lift cylinder, so it's real easy to set up. You have this removable storage rack here, so going down the road, you're not completely reliant on the cylinder to keep it upright. You've got some hard contact there to keep it safe. Over here, bar oil tank. That bar oil tank's gonna last you about 40 hours. It holds 6 gallons, so you don't really have to worry about bar oil. You can fill it up once a week or so. And then you got a 5-gallon fuel tank. With that fuel tank here, you get, depending on how fast, how hard you're running, you get about 3 to 4 hours of run time on the fuel tank. Easy to fill, nice big neck here. Easy access for your jerry can or filler hose. Same thing with your bar oil. You got this filler right here. No problem filling that up. Axle, 6,000 pound axle sprung with electric brakes. And then you've got a DOT approved light kit, left, right, turn signal, stop lights, and running lights. And then the operator station. This is where you're going to spend most of your time. So right here you got 3 pressure gauges, one for your saw motor pressure, one for your saw bar pressure, and one for your splitting pressure. This is really just for diagnostic interest. You don't really need to use it to operate, but it is nice to have. You got 5 valves. Down here you got your live deck valve. This valve here runs your top roll clamp and your saw bar. This valve is your auto cycle for your splitter. So the splitter is going to come out, hit the end of stroke. Pressure is going to tell it to go backwards. This handle will stay down until it hits the end of stroke going backwards. That'll pop out and it's ready to go again. Up here, this runs your saw motor, and then this valve here operates your wedge lift. So you can see under there we've got an 8-inch cylinder, and that lifts your wedge up and down, either a 4-way, which is standard, or this particular machine is equipped with an optional 6-way wedge. That gives you 8 inches of travel up and down so you can split the perfect firewood. And then finally you got your live deck and your feed trough. So this valve will bring your log forward. It's also fully reversible. And then the feed trough will bring the log to the works place, again, also fully reversible. One of the best parts about this machine, and we took a long time to design this machine and make it the ultimate resplitting machine. So what I mean by that, you got a 6-way wedge here. You got an 18-inch piece, you're still going to get 6 9-inch pizza slices. You know, if you're doing boiler wood, that's great, nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to, you know, sell higher margin wood like package fired or just nicely split for stove wood, you're going to resplit that. Well, as you can see here, you got this table grate. You can split 2 blocks before wood falls off the table grate, and that gives you a storage environment where you're just grabbing the wood, putting it back in, and able to split it. So you can control the output of this really nicely, either with a 4-way or a 6-way wedge. And that's really something unique to us in the industry. You'll find there's hardly any competing machine that comes anywhere near to the ergonomics of this whole splitting area. So yeah, that's a good strong point. Let's talk about the saw and the top roll clamp. So that back roller, it works in conjunction with the feed trough train, the driven top roller, and this new for 2024 front wheel. That top roller has hydraulic pressure it holds down, and it actually helps feed that log through, and it also acts as your saw dog. So as you're cutting, you don't need to wait for the saw dog to come up and down. It's just always being held in place by that wheel. And then for your last cut on that last block, that wheel's holding the log through, so that pressure stays on. You can cut nice and flat, boom, and that last cut's a lot faster in this machine than anybody else's. So the MP, one of the things we really thought about in the design of this is easy accessibility, both with operation and maintenance. So this is your sawdust chute and your saw guard. So your sawdust chute throws sawdust way out there in a nice big pile, keeps it away from the machine. And then your saw guard, it's got this magnetic door here, and then a nice easy access spot. You can stand right in here, adjust your tension, and also drop that bar down and sharpen the bar right on the machine. No need to remove it. Really increases your productivity there, and your real easy access right in there. No climbing, real safe. And then once you're ready to go, shut the door, boom, you're good to go in operation. And yeah, so I think we went over pretty much everything there is to go over on a Pro MP. 24-inch diameter log, 24-inch length max cut. 32-foot long logs can go on here, or longer if you really be careful with the butts going first. This machine starts right now just about $40,000. Depending on options, you can get all the way up to about $50,000. If you do your homework, you study our competitors, you look at this machine dollar per dollar, there isn't a better machine on the market in my humble opinion. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.